Welcome to the Joy of Cruising podcast with your host, award-winning author Paul C. Thornton, a weekly conversation with the amazing cruisers featured in the Joy of Cruising trilogy, comprised of The Joy of Cruising, Cruising Interrupted, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again. Each book is a compilation of features about cruisers and cruise and travel personalities from around the world. It's the next best thing to cruising, hearing about cruising from the unique and diverse perspectives of Paul's amazing guests.
Hello, passionate cruisers. Today I am delighted to welcome back to the Joy of Cruising podcast, Rich and Jasmine of A Rich and Jazzy Life. It is only fitting that these first reflections of the launch cruise of the world's largest ship, Icon of the Seas, come from one of the world's most influential cruise personalities. A Rich and Jazzy Life has 101,000 followers on their YouTube channel, and perhaps even more impressive is their 95,000 member Facebook affinity group, one of the largest on Facebook, Melanin at Sea. Rich and Jazzy also were featured in my new release, The Joy of Cruising Again. Rich and Jazzy first appeared on the Joy of Cruising podcast in May, so I know that they have done plenty of cruises since then. But first and foremost, let's discuss today's ship, Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas. Rich and Jasmine, welcome back to the Joy of Cruising podcast.
Hey, thank you so much
you.
for having us, Paul. We are happy to be back and better than ever.
All right. Well, you'll be back again. So I can assure you of that. So how y'all doing?
We're doing great. We are doing a lot has changed since the last time we've spoken, but we are doing phenomenal. We really are blessed, and we're very grateful to be in the position that we are in today.
Good. Well, to the extent you can fill me in on the details of what has changed. How are the girls?
The girls are great. They are in first and second grade now.
Mhm.
So they are doing good.
Still
Great
living
in-
their best life.
Yeah, doing great in school, living their best life. Just, just very two little blessed little princesses that we just try our best to give their best life ever to. So they're doing great.
So for the listeners, I am absolutely charmed with those two little girls, Rain and Royce. I raised two daughters with a similar age difference as Rain and Royce. So whenever I see them, it brings me back to one of the best periods of my life. And when I watch Rich and the girls at Icon's daddy-daughter event, which for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure Rich and Jasmine will talk about it. I just melted.
Oh.
I just melted. It brought me back to my second wedding, and when I guess my daughter, my youngest, was about 5 at the time, and it brought me back to our first dance at the wedding. So, it was so good. But anyway, it is good to have you back. First, let me express my gratitude to you. Your May episode continues to grow many months later.
Oh, okay.
For our
That's great.
listeners, Rich and Jasmine, please reintroduce yourself. Where you're from, where you live, how you spend your time when you are not out growing a Rich and Jazzy life.
Well, we are Richard and Jasmine, aka Rich and Jazzy. In our life off of YouTube, we do go by Rich and Jasmine.
Right.
And we are from I'm from New York City. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I was born and raised in Staten Island, New York. I moved out of New York when I was about 26. And Richard, where are you from?
And I'm born in Trinidad, grew up in New York, where I met Jasmine, and we moved to Atlanta together,
Yes.
which is where we've been. We're going into our ninth year now.
Yeah, 9 years we've been in Atlanta. That's crazy. March will be 9 years. And yeah, we spend our when we're not growing a Rich and Jazzy life, We
We're big
spent
on family time. We're big on routines also. So like we have a donut day with the girls, we have a movie day, we have our designated day that we play video games together. We just do a lot of family stuff.
Mhm.
We try to really enjoy our girls the most we can, especially at this age. We understand that things are moving fast. So when we can slow down, we try our best to do just that.
Right. And then, I just have regular mom life, and mom and wife life, and taking the girls to school every day, picking them up. And they're also in so many activities between dance and gymnastics and swim class. So that also is, a lot that we have on our plate on top of what we do with
Mhm.
our businesses.
So for those few people, the people I can count on one hand, who don't know a lot about a Rich and Jazzy Life, the brand, say a little bit about that. I talked in the intro about how powerful the brand is, but talk about a Rich and Jazzy Life for a couple of minutes.
Sure. So, A Rich and Jazzy Life started when our oldest daughter, Rain, was about 2 months old. Richard decided to start a YouTube channel just to document our lives as parents and just to show like our friends and family who doesn't live in Atlanta with us. We wanted to just show them what we've been up to and our different date nights. And then we also wanted to document Rain's milestones and big events that happen in our life. So that's how we really started our channel. And we've always been, even before Rain and Royce, we've always been a couple that like to dress up, go out to
Mhm.
eat, and really just enjoy a
We're always
nice life.
Yeah, we're always big foodies. We're always into matching outfits. So having kids, we just took it to another level and we just recorded the memories on YouTube mainly for us. We really didn't expect anyone else to watch, but today we find a lot of people watching.
Yeah. So we always tell people your life. It's a play on our names. Our channel is called A Rich and Jazzy Life because yes, that's our names, Richard and Jasmine. But it's a play on our names because you can make your life as rich as you want. You don't have to be rich in money. You can be rich in health, rich in happiness, rich in just anything that you want to do in your life that you find yourself enjoying, you could be rich in. And Jazzy, just adding that jazz to everything that you do, the
Hmm.
pizzazz to your clothing, the jazz to everything that you eat, just stepping it up a notch and not being basic. So so that's basically what our channel is about. And we've niched down in 2021 to cruising. We've always cruised, but we noticed that whenever we did do cruising, people were more interested in seeing that on our channel besides major milestones. So we said, okay, well, let's see how this whole cruising thing goes. So we've been doing cruising on our channel. We've been doing it all the whole entire time, but really, really niched down in 2021.
The topic of today is the Icon of the Seas launch, the world's biggest ship, world's largest ship. So the floor
Hmm.
is all yours. Tell us all about your cruise on Icon of the Seas.
Oh man, it is so much to cover on the icon. It really is an icon. It's massive. And we went in there with these expectations of it being, like we saw, just about 10 feet longer than the previous biggest cruise ship in the world, which is the Wonder of the Seas. So we're thinking it's going to be a little bit bigger, but we went on there and they added so many new venues, new eats, new bars, all these things. It was a lot more than the Wonder of the Seas. It was more than 10 feet in there in terms of what they've added. And they've stepped it up a lot, we feel like.
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean on this ship, they're definitely getting more competitive with not just other cruise lines, but like land vacations. They really stepped up their game big time.
What's the first thing you did
Hmm.
upon embarkation?
When we got on the ship, the first thing that we did, besides get the champagne that they were handing out, which I thought was nice,
Hmm.
we went to the buffet. We put
Yeah.
our stuff down
Hmm.
and I went to the buffet because on that inaugural sailing they have lobster and
Hmm.
um They had king crab legs and snow crab legs, and I mean,
They went all
they just
out.
went all out.
Even for I'm
Get
allergic to
out.
shellfish, and they had lamb chops, they had steak, so they really went all out. The Windjammer, they hooked it up for us on that
Yeah.
inaugural sailing.
Yeah, definitely. If you are going to, for all the listeners, if you are going to go on the inaugural sailing of like the Utopia or the Star of the Seas, my recommendation is put your stuff down in your room and go straight to that buffet before they close.
Hmm.
Don't miss out on
Mhm.
that good stuff they have. You paid your money for that. So go upstairs and enjoy that high class cuisine. But
Now,
uh-huh.
now, now, you don't suppose that Icon will continue? This was in the Windjammer, right?
Right.
Yes.
Listeners, just for the listeners who have not sailed Royal Caribbean, Windjammer is their buffet. So, do you suspect they'll have those kind of choices uh, past the inaugural cruise, or is that just something they did
I
Uh,
for that
highly doubt
cruise?
it.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they
Okay.
had that
Yeah,
regularly.
that's a lot to afford to do for each sailing from here
Well,
on out. I've heard that.
with the price they're charging right now, they probably can afford to do it now.
Right, I did hear on the Celebrity
Yeah.
Ascent they had that for the inaugural, and they had it for about a month afterward. So maybe,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so maybe they'll keep it for a little while. I don't know. Time will only tell.
I'm trying to talk myself into booking Icon.
Go
So,
for it.
actually, let me correct that. I don't need to talk myself into it. I'm trying to talk my wife into accompanying me
Yeah,
to
yeah.
on Icon.
Yeah, I mean, it was truly an iconic sailing. We went, I wouldn't say we went with low expectations, like Richard said, but I didn't have like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Like, I didn't want to hype myself up and then be let down. So it really surpassed my expectations.
For sure.
Now, why did you have low expectations? You loved Wonder, didn't you?
I did love Wonder.
We did.
I didn't have low
Hmm.
expectations, but I just thought that it would be exactly like the Wonder.
Same.
So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I
okay.
thought it would be just exactly like the Wonder, except some of the neighborhoods was a little bit different, and that's it. But it really is a class. It is a class of its own, and it was just so much to do, almost too much to do.
We've still not seen the entire ship.
Yeah, I was watching like informational videos on it, and I was like, I didn't even go to that bar. I didn't even see that place. Like there was a lot of things that I did not see in those 7 days. And I felt like we went around a lot on that ship.
Yeah.
You mentioned neighborhoods. That's a good place to start. Tell us about the different neighborhoods.
So the most important neighborhood for us was the Surfside neighborhood. So Surfside is made for families with kids, especially targeted to kids under 6 years old. And Surfside is they really it replaced the boardwalk. And they did a really good job. I cannot say enough what a good job they did on that area specifically. We spent a lot of time in that area. Our kids are 6 and 7 when they boarded, but now they're 6 and 8. And we spent a lot of time there. And what they have are new things like the carousel did stay, but they have their own buffet. So we found ourselves every morning. We were in the Surfside area. We went downstairs for lunch. We would have the buffet down there. The arcade is down there. The candy shop is down there. There's
There's a
a
bar
bar
down
down
there,
there.
lemonade post.
The Lemonade Post, which is the bar down there, it's made for not just adults. It's a family friendly bar. So there's drinks for kids. There's drinks for adults. There's a water park there for kids.
Smaller kids.
Yeah.
I think it's good for like kids that's like 6 and under. I feel like Rain was too big for some of the things in that Surfside area. Even like the dry play activities. I was like, oh, you're kind of tall for this. So definitely if you have kids 6 and under, that area is perfect for you.
Is it like on the boardwalk? I think if you looked up, it opened up to the sky, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does the Surfside area,
Yes.
is it sort of okay? It's not inside.
Right.
It replaces the boardwalk.
Okay, okay,
Yep.
okay. And you said that the carousel stayed.
Yeah. And they also have
Yeah.
like a whole entertainment staff that's like designated for that area. Where they have
Constantly doing
Just for
shows,
shows, dance parties, face painting, balloon
magic
animals,
shows,
candy.
a DJ.
Yeah, it really made it really, really nice. They even had a different besides the buffet, the food station with the fruit skewers and churros and things like that for the kids and families just to really enjoy. We found ourselves over there for a while, like a couple of hours just chilling out because it's so much to do.
so it sounds to me like the buffet is something different than I've been on a couple of Oasis class ships. Um, how big, how large was the buffet?
It's pretty small. Like
Hmm.
it's not like you could walk around it. It's just one um continuous table of food, not a
Hmm.
table, but
Okay,
serving
okay, uh huh.
stations. But
Hmm.
for the area, because I think a lot of people didn't know that Surfside Eatery is there.
Hmm.
It wasn't crowded at all. And then
We've never seen it crowded, which was amazing considering the ship holds 7,600 passengers.
yeah.
We've never been
Hmm.
in that buffet with more than even 10 people.
Yeah, and then the kids can
Wow.
also make their own sundaes in there.
Hmm.
It
The
really
buffet
had
is
some
the
good options.
counters.
Now, and Sunday station that's included.
Yes, the Sunday
Hmm.
station was included, surprisingly,
Hmm.
because we know how Royal like to charge everything. They do like to
Yeah,
charge more for everything, but that was included.
Yeah.
yeah. That's kind of a trend that's catching on with all cruise lines.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Definitely.
know.
Yeah, there was a place called Base Camp, excuse me, not Bayside. Base Camp that they had like fried chicken waffles, like
Hmm.
little mini bites, or then they had like bao buns and some other like it's like four options and a burger, but everything on there you had to pay extra for. To me, I didn't see the
At
point.
at, uh, at Bayside, what's it called?
Base
Bayside
Camp, Base Camp.
Hmm.
Base Camp. I'm sorry. So that was not complimentary.
No, that's not complimentary, and
Okay.
that's in Thrill Island. That's not complimentary, but they did have like a hot dog and like two other things that is complimentary, things that doesn't really appeal to you. Whereas if you look on, if we're comparing, you know, orange apples to oranges and different cruise lines, you can go on Carnival's XL class ships and have street eats, and that's included. I had bao buns on Carnival from street eats complimentary.
Hmm.
So
You
I
eat as
think
many as
Uh
you
huh.
want to.
you can eat as many as you want
Hmm.
to. So for Royal Caribbean to charge for bao buns, it was like $6 or something. I thought it was kind of a ripoff. So I don't, and
Right.
I can't even tell you what they taste like because I just didn't feel the need to purchase a bao bun from them.
Yeah. Now I heard you mention something called Thrill Island. Is that another neighborhood?
Yes, so Thrill Island is basically where all of the water activities are, the slides and all that jazz. So you could go over
Hmm.
there and that's where the
It's just
Cloud's Edge
packed.
road course
Hmm.
is, that's where the water park is, that's where everything, all the fun slides that you see towards the aft of the ship is. So yeah.
That area I would say is definitely great for teens,
Yeah.
people any age that's really adventurous. Now, if your kids are short, like ours are, some of these water parks in the category 6 water park, they will not be able most of them,
Most
they
of
will not be able to get on.
Yeah, Royce, you have to be 40, at least 48 inches to go on the water slides. Royce is only like 40 inches or something. She's really short. So Rain just made the cut with the 48 inches.
Hmm.
So she was able to get on about three of I believe it's six water slides. Um, so she was lucky, she lucked up and was able to go on those. And so definitely if you have kids, and then the other height requirement is 52 inches for the others, like the more
Hmm.
intensity, the higher intensity slides.
Slides.
Now, do they still have uh, zip line?
Yeah.
I was having a brain
I
freeze.
did not see
Uh,
the zip lining.
The Crown's Edge replaces that.
Yeah, because you do the Crown's Edge where you're basically zip lining in a sense, but you're hanging off the side of the ship versus going over the boardwalk.
Mm.
Oh, yes. Now, I've seen that on some videos. Did you all do that?
We did not do that. It's just not my thing.
That's also an upcharge. So when we first started doing our bookings, that was priced at $100, and I guess the bookings were pretty low. They dropped it to $49 for our sailing. We still, if you look at people do it, they spend a lot of time prepping you, and I think it takes you about 15 minutes. You're going to spend about 14 minutes prepping and doing safety instructions, and you're going to spend about 15 seconds for the actual
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
heard you can
sliding.
go
Yeah.
around twice, and you do get a video that's included. And when it's at a port, it is $10 cheaper. Of course, the price is going to vary per sailing. So
Mm-hmm.
it was $10 cheaper if you did it while you was in the port. And I believe that you can sign up in person if there's slots available.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing that they charge for that. I mean, I did the zip line,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and there was no charge. I don't know that I would pay to do what do you call it?
Crown's
What's it called
Edge.
again?
It's called
Crown's
Crown's
Edge.
Edge ropes course, I guess.
So okay, what else? Tell me about another neighborhood.
Not so you still have the Central Park, which is still Central Park is pretty much the same. It just does not have the Rising Tides bar
Yeah.
on it, so it's slightly different that way, but everything pretty much looks like it has the same vibe as the old Central Park. It has a couple things that are a little bit different in
Like
there,
the
like there's a
jazz
jazz
bar.
club.
Yeah.
Lou's Jazz Bar is there now, so that's a nice, which fits really well in Central Park. You know, you go there, Central Park already has a nice quiet date night kind of vibe. There's now the jazz club. Izumi, which is there now, they have a take and go station in addition to the hibachi. So that's kind of nice. There is an upcharge for it. That's not so nice. Where, other cruise lines are offering free sushi.
Free
So
sushi, like you could go on Virgin and get free sushi, all you can eat.
Mhm.
So I mean, it may not be like specialty rolls. It could be basic rolls, but it's still free sushi. So you think of, yeah, being that we cruise so much, we can't help but to compare these cruise, this ship to other cruise lines.
Right.
Yes, and I fully expected you to, and that's why I wanted, I wanted you to give us an overview of Icon because I know that you have, so many uh, bases of comparison. Having been on
Yeah.
just about everything.
Yeah.
Okay, pick another neighborhood.
What
Let's
about the
go
Hideaway?
the Hideaway.
The Hideaway?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's a na-
There's a new
that's a
neighborhood.
name. Okay, yeah, that's totally that's foreign to me. Tell me about it.
The Hideaway, you just gotta be. I looked up and went while we were sailing away from St. Kitts.
Mhm.
So I noticed that there wasn't any people there because people probably was tired from on their excursions or wherever they were. So it wasn't as many people. But on a sea day,
Oh my
you
goodness.
wouldn't even want to stand in that Hideaway pool. It's not that big. It's like three boxes, like literally like three boxes. There's a DJ there that brings a nice vibe. If
Mhm.
like on one level up, and he's actually DJing two for the Hideaway guests. But the actual pool itself, it's pretty small.
It's really beautiful and cool because it's a pool that's suspended in between the cutout,
Yeah.
which is over where which Surfside, where the old boardwalk was. So you have a pool suspended over that area.
Yeah, the infinity pool. So it really makes a beautiful view.
So it's like the next level above the surf side or what used to be the boardwalk.
Right. It's
Okay.
all the way above the surf side. So like let's say surf side is on deck 7. This is all the way up on like deck 15.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
so it's way up. I was
It's
thinking
way up
I was
there.
thinking it was just okay. It's way up. All right. Now
yeah, it's way up.
is that
Yeah.
adults only hideaway?
Yes.
It is.
Okay, I was gonna say the name seems to imply.
So it
Okay.
originally was not the adults only area, but a few weeks before the first sailing, they announced that that's going to be the adults only area, which makes a lot of sense because they now have in Coco Cay the adults only area, which is also called Hideaway. So it makes a lot of sense to be consistent with the naming of Hideaway to be their adults only areas.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
right.
it's definitely alive.
It stopped at Coco Cay, so we got to talk about that too. I forgot about that, and because they've added some
Hmm.
things. Okay, okay, that sounds so. While y'all were in the Hideaway, I guess Rain and Royce did they do the kids club on this cruise?
Yes,
They
they
did,
did.
but they only did it at night. So we were lucky enough that with a sailing like this, we had a lot of friends on board.
Okay.
So I only stepped away for just a few minutes to see Hideaway. What I had to end up doing was telling Jasmine, well, why don't you go and hang out in Hideaway for a little bit while I stay here with the kids in the family area.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some friends watch the girls for maybe 10 minutes for me to go to just to actually walk through Hideaway myself and see
Mm-hmm.
with my own eyes
Mm-hmm.
rather than just everything else I've seen on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. What else?
I
So Hideaway was good, like we said, but it definitely gets crowded.
The Royal Promenade was absolutely beautiful,
Oh
breathtaking,
man.
so wide. It was like you were in a mall. Like soon as you step on this ship, and I just want people to that's going to be the first place that you go to.
Hmm.
Everywhere that's the first neighborhood that you're going to be in is the Royal Promenade. It is huge. I mean,
Huge.
massive, so spacious.
And the Pearl, which is, we kind of was thinking the Pearl may be really overhyped, and because we watched it on videos, we watched the pictures, and even in our videos, when you watch it, just know that the Pearl is more impressive and bigger in person
Person.
than what you're gonna see on video.
Now, clarify. What's the pearl? I don't remember that
So the
on other
Pearl is this
ships.
round. The Pearl is this round structure
Uh huh.
that it has like almost like fish scales inside of it, so it's able to reflect light and change
Uh
colors,
huh.
and it really is just it's kind of there just to blow you away. As soon as you walk on board, you're gonna see the Pearl.
So it's I guess a work of art.
It is. I
Okay.
would say it's a work of art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what neighborhood was that in?
And that's on the Royal
Royal
Promenade.
Promenade.
Oh, okay. So I assume, like the other Oasis class ships, I know this is, I guess, a class of its own, but
Hmm.
that's my basis of comparison is
Right.
Oasis class. I assume in the promenade they had a couple of cars or a car.
No, this ship does not have a car like the Oasis class ships
Hmm.
Oh wow.
or the other ships.
Mm.
Yeah, they do not have a car. No car on the ship at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wonder what made them stop doing that because definitely is more than enough space to put a car there.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they just didn't put a car.
Yeah, I feel like they just wanted to do something different. They
Mm-hmm.
did add, I think the ship has more art pieces of artwork on the promenade.
Yeah, there's like a dog that's peeing on
Fire hydrant.
a
Yeah,
lamppost.
I've seen.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it's like
seen that.
a big statue of that dog Rover
Right.
peeing on a
There's
lamppost.
like one of the workers coming out of a manhole and it's like the top of his body, but it's just a piece of art.
Okay. Okay.
There's a drain that's like open with water coming out, but it's also just a piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of random, like little hidden pieces of art. Also, like like you have to look for it to find them, which is pretty nice.
Now,
Yeah.
one thing I read about the promenade, I think I interpreted this right, was you can walk down it and then turn around and walk the other way, or something like that. Whereas the other Oasis class ships, the promenade would go straight and it would like come to an end. Is that making sense? Do you recall that where you could walk the whole promenade in sort of like a circular fashion, or I'm not making
Yeah, you
sense?
definitely
Yeah.
can because it's very wide, it's
Okay.
very long. It goes from basically all the way from aft to forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's massive. It really is. And that's where they had so much so that they had the 10,000
Balloon
balloon
drop.
drop, the first 10,000 balloon drop on our sailing.
Oh yes, yes,
So
yes. I've seen that. Okay.
yeah, so that one it got a little crazy for our sailing and I got hurt on on mine at the
Uh-oh.
balloon drop. Yeah, I got injured. I had to go down to the medic. I had got x-rays done and
Night
everything.
one, we actually ended up in the medical center instead of the casino
Yeah.
due to
Wow.
the balloon drop.
Due to the balloon drop and people just I would not recommend. I didn't know that this was my first. Let me start by saying this was our first balloon drop we ever participated in on a Royal Caribbean ship. So we were excited. I brought the girls down. It happened at midnight. So we thought, okay, when the balloons drop, people are just gonna, be
Oh,
throwing them up in the air and yeah, celebrating that we're on this, new massive ship. No, as soon as these balloons drop, people are like stomping on them.
they went
They went
crazy.
crazy. They went
Wow.
nuts like 2-year-olds
And,
that never seen a
They were
balloon
stomping
before.
on the balloon. They were grabbing them to all pop them. It's like
and,
they
the,
just
and
turned into
these
wild
and
animals.
these weren't just kids doing this, you're saying.
No, these were the adults.
It was the
And then
adults.
after a day of these people drinking all day,
Mm-hmm.
they're intoxicated and all of a sudden a woman comes barreling down at me and I had my back turned because I was filming my girls in their excitement to the balloons and and I had a pair of heels on, knocks me over. I fall and I fall on top of my youngest daughter Royce, and then Royce knocks into Rain. We're all on the floor. I
Oh,
couldn't even get
wow.
back up. I couldn't. Yeah, I twisted my ankle and foot, and which I'm still hurt to this day right now. I'm walking around with a brace on my foot. It really did affect my cruise and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the type to even get injured and like I've never had no injuries my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So that really, really messed me up. I had to go down in a wheelchair. I'm like, I never even been last only time I've been in a wheelchair was when after I gave birth to my kids.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so so yeah, it really put a damper on my vacation, but I
And it was
still made
on
the
night
best of it. It was
one.
on night one.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
Yeah,
but other than that, the promenade is very large.
it's
I would
very
recommend,
impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the balloon drop, if you have small children, stay on the top floor. Just
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
let them look from above because it really is dangerous. And I would really hate, I thank God that I got hurt and not my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it could get crazy
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at midnight.
We learned that one the hard way.
I sure
Yep.
did.
Yep. So, what else did Icon have to offer?
The icon. Oh, I love
The
the
Aquadome
Aqua Dome. That's what I was gonna
is
say.
another new one, which so they don't have a solarium on this one. They have the Aquadome area, which is in the front of the ship. And if you're looking at the ship from the outside, you can tell the Aquadome is right there in front. It gives the ship a really aggressive look. So I really like that. This is where the aqua shows happen now. Instead of the back of the ship on the boardwalk, it's now in the Aquadome. There's a huge waterfall. It's like a 50-foot waterfall
Mm-hmm.
that you'll have the divers coming out.
The show was phenomenal, and it wasn't even done when we saw it, but from what we saw it was really good. The only thing I would complain about with the Aqua Show is the amount of seating. You really need to get there early to make sure that you get a seat because for it to be such a massive ship, and it wasn't as much seating as I thought it would be. To where
Yeah.
we found ourselves, we had to stand up in the back to watch the show.
A few more rows of seating would have made a huge difference for that venue, I believe, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I guess I saw a photo, and it did look to me that it was less, there was less lower capacity than
yeah,
on the couple of
Oasis class ships.
Oasis class ships that I've been on. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely way less seating. So definitely get there early if you plan on
Now,
attending.
another new addition in that area, in that neighborhood, is the Aquadome Market, that was a big step up for Royal because Royal is not great at having a lot of included food. And this is an area
Mm-hmm.
that's similar to like a food truck thing, which is kind of similar to what Carnival had rolled out on their Excel class ships near on the Lido
Mm-hmm.
deck. So it's similar to that. So you've
Right.
got an Asian spot that you can get, ginger, which you can get. It's very similar to Panda Express, is the way we compare it.
Mm-hmm.
Then there
Mm-hmm.
is a mac and cheese place that you get several different types of mac and cheese. There's a sandwich area and there's a Mediterranean one. The Mediterranean one, I think, is the most impressive. You can get
And the crepe.
gyros or bowls, and there's the crepe station there too.
Mhm.
So
Now, these places that you're mentioning right now
Mhm.
are complimentary.
All
Yes, these
complimentary.
are all
Yes.
complimentary. Surprise, surprise, complimentary. So
Yeah.
I was surprised
I
to see that these were included.
slightly off topic, but I recently did a podcast, sort of a review of our Christmas trip on MSC, and one of my bottom line findings was that in a few ways MSC is on par with its competition, which I consider to be Royal, Carnival, and NCL. But one thing that makes MSC once and done for many Royal and Carnival cruisers is that they don't offer any complimentary options other than the buffet and the main dining room. And until they get that right, I don't think they will ever be able to compete directly.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you. You could definitely be hungry on
I'm
MSC.
glad.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm glad that Icon has kept up the tradition of complimentary food. Disappointed that the one that you mentioned with the
But bao buns.
bao buns, that you had to pay for that. But
Yeah.
they sound like they do still have a lot of options. Do they have on Icon is Park Cafe on there?
So there's actually, remember when we were speaking of the Pearl in the Royal Promenade, they've actually changed that into, there's a Pearl Cafe.
Oh, okay.
So upstairs from the Pearl is a Pearl Cafe, and the Pearl Cafe is 24 hours. So that's actually a really good, after the nightclub, after the casino. It's one of the only places that's left open, and you're able to get sandwiches and stuff there late at night.
But
Okay.
they kind of got rid of the roast beef sandwiches. You know how the
Really?
Park Cafe, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of a brand mark for them.
Yeah, I don't know.
the Cumberwet sandwich.
Right. I don't know. I've only went to the buffet, the actual Windjammer the first day and never went back. So I don't know if you could only get the roast beef sandwiches inside of the buffet. Now, I noticed, I was like, oh, the cafe does not have these roast beef sandwiches.
Yeah, so what they do have is a barbecue chicken sandwich, which is sitting in like a biscuit, and then they make a bira mushroom sandwich. And it's a little bit disappointing because the late night menu never rotates from that.
Never
Okay.
rotates, and you find yourself eating the same thing every night, especially if you're someone that stays out late like us. I was disappointed in the late night eats.
hmm And then, of course, there's the old reliable Sorrentos. They still have that.
Which closes at 3 a.m., I believe.
Yeah, 2 a.m. It
2 a.m.
closes. It closes at 2 a.m. And to
So
me,
you can't have that after the casino.
and I always say I never was a big fan of Sorrentos. I'm a New York City girl. I love pizza. I understand. And I'm very hard on cruise lines with pizza. Royal Caribbean Sorrentos is giving like a tombstone pizza that you could buy from the grocery store and pop in the oven.
It's very basic.
I agree. I like Carnival pizza better than
Same.
Royal.
Yeah,
I eat Sorrentos, but that's probably because I'm drinking beer nonstop.
Right. I'll eat it, but it's not the best.
Yeah, beer and pizza go together.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now again, off subject, but I will say the biggest compliment that I gave to MSC was the pizza.
Oh
man.
yeah, hands down, best pizza I've seen.
That was the best pizza I've ever had, outside of, New York. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The MSC has better pizza than most places on land except New York.
Yeah.
Right.
Th-
I would agree. I would agree with you there. So since we're on the subject of food, let's talk about specialty restaurants. What did you try?
the Empire Supper Club, which is a new addition to this icon class of
Royal
ships.
Caribbean,
It's a Royal
period.
Caribbean, in which we did. We really enjoyed it. We went in with, once again, no expectations. We're just like, okay, we were able to see the menu online before we went.
We were a
So
little
we
bit
knew
worried
we
because of the price point. This is the most we've paid for a specialty dining restaurant.
right.
$200 a person is not a little bit of money, so we were definitely worried about it.
Back up a little. Give the listeners an overview of because
Of what is
I know that you did that when I watched your video, and it was nice experiencing that through you. I don't know if I would do that if I went on Icon, but what's it, $200 a person?
So Empire Supper Club is a new addition to Royal. It is a 1920s themed New York City vibe in there. It is a 9 course,
Yeah,
10 course meal that you get. It's like very Michelin style. It is really, really a good. I mean, the experience is so nice.
Actually, I think it's 8 courses.
Eight
We got
courses?
10.
Right, because they're bonuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some stuff that's not on the menu that will come out, and the service and the VIP treatment that you get in there is just it's really amazing. The
Talk
food is
about what
good.
happens when you arrive.
So when you first get there, you're greeted outside by your waiter who calls you by name. So you'll walk up there and they'll say, "Richard, Jasmine, we've been expecting you." And not because we're YouTubers. They recognize us just because they have a picture of your face. They personally walk you to your table. As you have these 8 courses, there's cocktail pairing. Each course pairs with a cocktail. Each course also pairs with a song played by a three-piece band. So it is really, really well thought out, and we were just blown away. We did not,
It was nice that it was also a New York theme.
being New Yorkers, that it was so
Yeah.
appropriate for us. We're all into all things New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I remember on the video how you were talking about they had cocktail pairings.
Mhm.
I noticed how as the meal went on, and then I saw at the end of the meal, uh, Jasmine clearly clearly clearly
Oh,
showed the
yeah.
progression of the cocktail pairings.
They were very generous.
They were very generous on the pause.
So we've done cocktail pairing before, like for example,
Uh-huh.
on Virgin Voyages, when you do the test kitchen, you can do the cocktail pairing, which is an upcharge on Virgin. But actually at Empire Supper Club, the cocktail pairing is included in that price, which makes it an even better value.
Yeah.
To start off, we had about 4 glasses of Moet, which also made our
Mhm.
$200 seem like it wasn't that bad. But the cocktails themselves were a full size cocktail. It wasn't a sample of the
Wow.
cocktail.
Yeah.
They helped with, making it a good value.
I think with 4 glasses of Moet, I'd be buzzing pretty hard already before I tried any of the
Right.
cocktails. But yeah, y'all did a good job of going through the progression. So let me be nosy. Tell me what y'all ordered.
So the only thing that you have to order is the main course. So you get a choice between the grilled Wagyu steak.
The Wagyu ribeye, you choose from that. You choose.
Which I know that was what Rich chose, right?
You know it.
I knew
Or
that.
You could do braised rabbit leg,
yeah, the braised rabbit. I wasn't into that.
or you can do the Chilean sea bass.
So
Yeah. I saw those choices. Who ordered? I mean, does anyone order the
People
rabbit?
apparently ordered it, but
I know someone that did order the rabbit, and she said it was very good.
so I actually got invited to do a review about this with the Royal Caribbean staff. And one of the things in the round table when they were talking about, there were several people that ordered the rabbit, and they were like, "Oh yeah, rabbit, it was pretty tough." And I was like, "Oh, so people actually ordered the rabbit?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
not for us.
So
We're good.
what was your main, Jasmine?
Say that again.
What was your main course?
Oh, I chose steak as well.
Steak. Okay, okay.
Yes, it was very good, very tasty, nice and seasoned. You know what? Most of the dishes, and I'm a hard critic with food, they were all pretty tasty,
They were good.
except for my langoustine. It was overcooked. I told them, I said it's very mushy, but they also explained to us how the plate needs to be hot. And because, with shrimp, it continues to cook even after you take it out of the pan. They put it onto a hot plate, it continues to cook. So they need to figure out when to take that langoustine out the pan or wherever they're cooking it a little bit earlier, because once they transfer it over to the hot plate, so it won't be mushy.
So what else was included on the at the supper club? You talked about your mains. You mentioned shrimp. So that's there.
Yeah, the shrimp, it's just like one Lego seed. It's like one of those
Uh-huh.
one appetizer before you get the meal. I do believe, now that I go back, and I don't think I even mentioned this to you, Richard. I do think that they needed to change that salad. A Caesar salad, I could go to the main dining room and get a Caesar salad. That Caesar salad wasn't good. The dressing wasn't strong enough to me, and I do feel like they could have changed that salad to something more, something more opulent than
Yeah,
a Caesar salad. Maybe a Waldorf salad, a Nicoy salad, or something like that.
they call it an Empire Caesar salad, but it just everything else was so upscale and the best of the best. You didn't really expect a Caesar salad in
Yeah.
that setting.
No. Did they have? I'm a Caesar salad connoisseur. Did they have anchovies?
They did not. It did not have enough anchovy taste to it, where it gave that strong Caesar, that strong Caesar dressing taste. So no, it did not. And I love me an anchovy.
However, I will say it was the most beautiful salad I've ever seen. They actually had an arch with butterflies made out
Yeah.
of
It was very pretty, like
the
the
croutons. It
croutons.
was just really a beautiful looking salad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know some people hate them, but a high end restaurant, they got to have anchovies in their Caesar salad. You know.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
did you try any other specialty restaurants?
Yes, we did.
We did a Zumi on the last night, the Habat Tibanaki, because we were celebrating Rain's 8th birthday the following day when we get off the ship. So the girls are very big into Tibanaki
I,
for birthdays. It's just
I was
a
just going to say,
tradition.
I'll bet you girls love teppanyaki because my
They
girls,
love it.
loved it when they were younger, and it has only the attraction has only gotten stronger. So, uh,
Oh goodness, that's
Yeah.
what we were saying. It was like, I feel like Brandon Royce are going to want to do this every single
yep.
year for their birthday.
We were worried that they might outgrow it, but now it's like a
Mm-hmm.
must
Mm-hmm.
these last few years, where if it's their birthday, that's where they want to go to dinner, which I'm not really mad at, because some people on their birthday, they want to go to a steakhouse or places like that. So I'll take you to Timanaki for your birthday. No problem.
Yeah. It
So
was,
we had
but you know something, Izumi is not one of the best hibachi restaurants at sea to me. That was my first time trying it, and I don't know if I would
Really?
return.
it's my least favorite on any
Mm-hmm.
cruise line for Timanaki. I've preferred my favorite is actually
Mm-hmm.
MSC for Timanaki.
Yeah.
MSC has the best Timanaki. Carnival's is pretty decent, and Norwegian's is decent, but Royal Izumi, to me, that's the
Yep.
worst
In
one.
fact,
Yeah.
in my review of MSC, I did I hit them hard sometimes, but I gave them credit where it was due, and I said the same thing about
Hmm.
their teppanyaki. In fact, maybe I'm just not remembering other places, but I don't think I've ever been to teppanyaki on a ship where they give you a full I don't know if it's a full, but they give you a sizable serving of sushi and sashimi before
Hmm.
the teppanyaki meal. They did that on MSC, and I give them a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you.
And their rice on MSC is it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's really like you could eat 2, 3 bowls of that rice.
Yeah, that.
But that wasn't the case at Izumi. I had the one bowl. I was okay after that.
Any other specialty restaurants? Oh, I know that. I know
So
that
they
you guys are big on the steakhouse on Carnival. Did you go to Chops?
So we thought about it. Now we've had chops now, I think 3 times on Royal, and every single time it's just okay, and it's
It's
so
okay.
overpriced. So a family of 4, I'm gonna end up paying over $200, and I'm not gonna be impressed with the steak. The service
Yeah.
is good, but the steak is not gonna be that impressive, and I'd just rather eat that on land. I think it's way overpriced, and it's
And then they have an iconic menu. The iconic menu, you have to pay
even
more
more.
money on top of the money that you paid to order the tomahawk. I'm sure it was the tomahawk exam. Now they have a tomahawk ribeye on there.
Mhm.
I can't even tell you what the cost is because it's not even on the menu. It's ask your server.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
one of
yeah,
those.
right.
Yeah. Market
Market
price. Market price.
price. So
Yeah.
no, we didn't try that, but we did have the celebration table.
So celebration table is something that's brand new also to Royal. And it's actually done in the same place where they will do a chef's table. And it's a private dinner for up to 14 people. So it's $1,000 to rent the table out. And so after taxes, it comes out taxes and gratuities. You come out to like 1,200. You get it for 14 people. Now that's up to you to figure out, how to collect your money for your 14 people. It's not like Chef's Table where you can book it individually for just yourself. And it
Right.
is located inside of Hooked Restaurant, which is inside of the Aquadome. And it's a private room that's tucked there in a corner. It's very VIP. And we did something very different that,
Hmm.
as far as we know, no one else has done yet. We actually rented it out for just ourselves. So we were having a celebration, and that's what the area is for. You celebrate a birthday, a milestone. And for us, just 2 weeks before the sailing, we hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we thought, why not celebrate at the celebration table? And why not celebrate with, we thought about, we were, we have there's a way you can obviously get rid of the tables and fill it up, but we said let's make this an intimate dining experience, a very VIP dining experience for just our family, and that's what we did. So we had it for just the 4 of us instead of 14. We actually walked in there and they had 14 plates out, and they said, "How many people?" We said 4. So what would you like us to do with the rest of the
Wow.
plates? You could take them back
Yeah, so
because
just for 2 adults and 2 kids. So
So you went to Empire Supper Club, and then you went to the celebration. In case you're looking, I can be the girl's godfather, and I'd be glad to come along with you.
we were interested in doing iconic things
Uh-huh.
on the
Uh-huh.
icon, and that was all a part of it.
part of it. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's one.
We had a big celebration dinner. It was really good. It was amazing. So you have a choice of Italian, Asian, seafood, or American. We
Yeah.
chose the Italian. We were a little bit worried about it because we love Royal Caribbean's Giovanni's Italian.
Yeah.
So we actually, when they asked us what menu do we want, we asked them, well, hey, look, if it's not as good as Giovanni's, then we'll choose something else. And what they told us is, no, it's going to be better
Better than
than
Giovanni.
Giovanni. And it was really, really good.
It was.
The service, to have one server for just the 4 of us, of course, that was great. And it was family style Italian. It was really, really good. And then to end it, the 2 chefs came out with a huge, on top of the 4 or 5 desserts that were served, with a huge chocolate cake that said, congratulations, 100K. It was actually so much that we had to have them keep it in their refrigerator for 2 more days before we could get some friends to join us in cutting the cake.
Yeah.
Wow,
And it's on our
wow, wow.
channel. Yeah. We had a cake cutting ceremony, 100K cake cutting ceremony. And it was nice. And people came and we interviewed everyone and we had cake and it was fun.
Wow, wow. One last question about Icon. You didn't say anything about your room. How was that? Although I'm looking at it right now because I told you
Uh-huh.
I'm watching a YouTube of you
Oh,
guys.
okay.
But say something about your accommodations.
So our room was really nice. So we upgraded to the family infinite balcony, which is real. It's a new type of room for Royal. So you walk into the room, you're greeted with a chalkboard. So you already know you're in a room that's catered for kids. So there's a chalkboard, and you have a choice when you walk into this room. You can make a left or you can make a right. It's not just a one way you walk into the cabin. So if you make a left, you're going to end up in the girls' room where you had a private curtain and then a privacy curtain. They have their own thermostat. They had two bunk beds with storage. They both had their own TVs. Then, if you go to the other side of the room, now I guess that would be considered our side. You had the infinite veranda, you had the bed, and you actually had a split bathroom. So we had two sinks, one shower, one toilet. That's what the breakdown was for the split. So square footage wise was really nice. Infinite balcony. So you did not have a true full balcony. This was our very first time having this kind of cabin because this is something new for Royal Caribbean also. That's only something that's on the Celebrity Edge class, the infinite
Yeah,
verandas.
I've been in those on Celebrity. A lot of complaints. I was okay with it, but I think where you get in trouble is comparing it to a traditional balcony.
Mm-hmm.
I just judged it for what it was, and it was fine. But no, if you go expecting a traditional balcony, then you didn't research
Yeah.
very well. So,
You're gonna be
Right.
disappointed
yep,
probably.
yep.
For us personally, it's a better fit than a regular balcony because we get more square footage inside of the cabin and it just serves us like a sunroom would.
The only thing that I disliked about the cabin is the fact that if with a room, I'll compare this to a Disney cruise, or with a room that has a split bathroom on a Disney ship, it has a bathtub and shower head, and then in the other room it's a tub. I mean, excuse me, a toilet and a sink.
Mm-hmm.
This just had a stand-up shower. And then even on a Carnival ship, you can have on the Vista class ships, you can get a deluxe ocean view cabin,
Which
um,
has a split bathroom.
which has a split bathroom, and you can have a bathtub and shower head and a stand-up shower. You have two showers in the cabin for the price of an ocean view,
Yeah.
deluxe ocean view.
The thing is, when you
Okay,
cater to
okay.
kids, and if you're thinking of
Mhm.
family with young children, you really got to have a bathtub.
Yeah.
For having little children, it's a cruise. You're taking kids to the beach. You've got to wash sand out of their hair in every crack
Part of
and
their
crevice they
body.
have because they get sand everywhere.
Everywhere.
So you really want a tub, not just you don't
Right,
shower, a young child usually. So that was a
right.
negative. The actual infinite veranda, the way the windows set up, when it got really windy, we noticed that it made a lot of noise at night.
Yeah.
So we were a
Mm-hmm,
little bit
mm-hmm.
disappointed in that. And then our biggest issue with that cabin is the price point. It was priced almost like a suite. I mean, that cabin goes for the cheapest I found that in the next like 2 years is about $8,000 for a family of four, and I've priced it out as high as $24,000. If you go on a New Year's sailing,
Woo!
that cabin is $24,000 for a family of four.
Mm-hmm.
$24,000 is ridiculous, and it's not a suite. You don't get any concierge service. You don't get any priority check-in. You don't get anything that the suites would get. But you're
Mm-hmm.
paying the price of a suite. Actually, there's suites on board that are cheaper than that.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit weird.
Now, the one big drawback, I don't know if it's big, it would be big for me. The one big drawback I hear about Icon and it's especially timely to bring this up with the Super Bowl coming up in a few days, is that there's no big screen at the pool deck.
No, there is no big screen at the pool deck. There's nowhere where people can sit down and watch, like pull up a lawn, not a lawn chair, but
A beach chair.
chair and relax and watch a movie or anything like that. Or yeah, right.
So it serves another purpose too, because when you have events happening on the deck, like let's say the sail away party. The sail away party, well,
Was
first of all, the sail away party was it's Royal Caribbean, so it just was not. There was no one there.
There was no vibes, nothing.
Yeah, can't. I know that can't
No.
compete with
They have nothing
Carnival.
on Carnival Sail Away or Virgin.
Yeah, they need to step it
But
up.
as for the TV, you know, when they have events, they're able to have a camera and show things on that TV also. So you may be sitting on an area that's obstructed, but you know, your view is obstructed, but you can see it on the TV. So there's that purpose. And then there is, like you said, there's, you know, there's games and then there's movies that can be played on there too.
Closing thoughts on Icon. Anything we missed?
I think, you know, we tried to point out a lot of things that we had an issue with. So it may sound like we're being really negative, but the reason we have to point those things out is because everything else
was amazing.
It is it's probably the best ship on the sea right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, you have not been overly negative. I mean, other than the cost and no big screen TV, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
So
It's impressive.
So
Very impressive.
I don't think you've been negative. Oh, I did want to ask you this. You stopped at Coco Cay.
Mhm.
It's been about a year and a half since I've been there. I know the correct pronunciation is Coco Key, but I don't care. It's Coco Cay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's
Royal-
Coco Cay because
yeah.
wrong with day because they want you to have a perfect
Yeah.
day at
Yep.
Coco Cay.
Yeah, Royal actually called. They
Yep.
purposely mispronounced theirs.
Yeah.
So at Coco Cay, it's been about a year and a half since I've been there. What's new? You said something about an adult area.
So they built a whole new adult area, which we did not attend because we are always cruising with kids. So
Right.
they're not allowed. And we actually I know some parents do leave their kids in the kids' camp so they can go and experience that. But that's not us. We actually ended up doing a swimming with the pigs excursion, which you get off in Coco Cay and you go take a boat to another island where you do swimming with the pigs.
By the way, have the girls done the water park at Coco Cay yet? Or still too young?
They have not, and
Right.
we're mainly worried about number one, the price is lot ridiculous, and number two, we don't want to pay that money, and then they're too short to get on the rides because then you really lose your money.
Yeah, I paid $75 for my 13-year-old granddaughter, but I hear now it's much higher than that.
I was gonna say you got a really good deal because it's usually over $100. Coco Cay is one of those islands you can either do it for nothing or you can spend you could end up spending thousands at Coco Cay. Remember, the overwater bungalows are like $3,700
Yeah.
to rent. So
Yep,
you could
yep.
spend a lot or you could spend nothing. You could actually just go there and do all the included things, beach pools, food. It's just up to you.
As they continue to expand Coco Cay, I do hope that they do bring a children's the Adventure Ocean off the ship
A
and
kids
have
camp
a kids
on
camp on the island,
on the island.
like Disney's Castaway.
Yeah, that would be smart. Yeah, because when I participate in various Facebook groups and all of that and talk about the top private islands, that Disney, the aspect of Disney where there's a separate there's a kids focus.
Yeah, because it allows the
Kinda wins out,
parents
so.
to go. When we put our girls in the kids camp on Disney, we were able to go to the adult only area for a little while and then go pick them back up, and still enjoy the beach.
And that's something we probably would have done in the sailing if they had something, but I couldn't leave my girls on the ship while I'm out there on the island enjoying the beach, you know?
So thank you so much for the overview of Icon. Shifting gears just a little bit, promote yourself. You have garnered a reputation for fabulous group cruises. So tell our listeners all about your upcoming group cruises and how they can sign up, assuming they're not sold out already.
Right. So We've gotten into the group cruise thing, and we are actually hosting a group cruise next month, February 17th. We are going on Virgin Voyages. The Valiant Lady. We're leaving out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we're going Southern Caribbean on that one. And then we like to do new experiences, new cruise ships. Take our people to have something all brand new. So in July 12th.
Rich, let me
Uh-huh.
let me interrupt. So on the February one, is there still availability?
There
There
is,
is.
unless the ship is sold out, anyone is welcome to join us.
So yeah, give the listeners some information. How can they sign up?
You could just email us.
And how many signups are? What are you at right now? Just
We
curious.
have 250 people going on this sailing. So
Wow.
yeah, if you still want to go, which is coming up very soon because it's February 17th, you can email us at a rich and jazzy family at gmail.com to get pricing and stuff, and we can get you guys booked.
Okay.
Our next group cruise this year is in July. It's going to be our first time going to Alaska. So we're excited about that. And we're doing it on a Celebrity Edge class ship. We're going on a Celebrity Edge. So it's going to be two new experiences for us. An Edge class. We've taken Celebrity before, but an Edge class ship is something new for us. And going to Alaska. We're excited about that.
Great. Well, listeners, if you thought about Alaska, get off the fence. Check off that bucket list item.
Yeah.
I've been on a Celebrity Edge class ship, and that's my favorite ship. It was Celebrity Beyond, and I've been to Alaska. It wasn't on Beyond, but I've been to Alaska, and I'm not big on the cold, not big on snow and all that, but I am 100% certain we are going back to Alaska.
Wow.
Nice. It seems like most people who've been always
Love it.
love it. So
Yeah.
I just want to see what the hype is about.
Yeah, I've been on the same cruise. I went to Hawaii and Alaska.
Oh, yes.
And Hawaii was nice, but excuse my bad grammar, it ain't Alaska.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We are going back to Alaska.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, how can we follow A Rich and Jazzy Life on the internet and social media?
Okay. So we are on our main place is YouTube. You can check out our videos, our vlogs. And that's on YouTube, A Rich and Jazzy Life. You can also follow us on Facebook at A Rich and Jazzy Life. You can also follow us on Instagram at A Rich and Jazzy Life. You can also follow us on TikTok at A Rich and Jazzy Life.
Right.
Am I missing anything? No, that's
it.
pretty
On
much
Threads.
it. Oh, and on Threads at A Rich and Jazzy Life.
Did you mention Melanin at Sea?
Our other platform is Melanin at Sea. The main page of Melanin at Sea is on Facebook. So it's a Facebook group. So make sure you join the group that has at this point it should have almost 94,000 or so members. And we also have an Instagram for Melanin at Sea and a TikTok for Melanin at Sea. So you can follow us there.
Say something about the cruises you've been on since we last spoke in May. I know you haven't been idle between May and Icon.
No, we.
Definitely not. We've
So
been busy. So go ahead, babe.
let's see. So we told you that in 2022 we did 11 cruises, and we didn't know that we were going to cruise as much. And last year we ended up in 2023 we did another 11. So we spoke to you in May. June we did our epic bucket list trip, and it was actually, we would still say it is our best family vacation we've ever taken as a family, the four of us. We took the Disney Dream to Europe, and it was such a dream and bucket list come true. It was really, really nice. We were just blown away by the whole thing.
It was an amazing trip. Yeah.
So we went to Greece, we went to Italy, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful trip.
Yeah, beautiful trip.
But that was our most memorable from now till then. Now, after that, we had a group cruise out of New York on a Carnival Venezia. That was in July. August, believe it or not, we did not sail.
September, we did Independence of the Seas.
October, we went back on the Royal Caribbean's very oldest ship, the Grandeur of the Seas, because we won so much money back in May that we had to go back.
Yeah.
So we
Their
did go
casino is
back.
great. That's a hidden gem that the casino is really good on the Grandeur. Then October, then
That was
November,
October.
we had our group cruise on MSC Seascape. That was a really nice experience to have. What we had almost like 250 people on that. Yeah, 250 people on that one.
Then in December we hosted another group cruise for CEOs at Sea, and we did a Christmas themed holiday sailing on the Scarlet Lady Virgin Voyages in December. And then January we were really honored to be a part of the top 100 travel agents, which are called First Mates. We were part of the top 100 travel agents in America for Virgin Voyages. And we actually, when we went to the top 100 sailing, we found out we were not just in the top 100, we were actually in the top 30.
Very good.
So that was really a nice sailing too.
And then after that top 100 sailing, we did Icon. So now we're up to date.
So listeners, you can go to a Rich and Jazzy Life YouTube channel and get highlights of all of the great cruises that Rich and Jasmine just mentioned. And understand now, that's only from May of 23 when they were on the show to now. So which is why I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time asking about those individual cruises, because you can
this
get
would be a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, you can get a lot of details and see some great videos on that channel. What do you have booked?
What do we have booked besides our group cruises? You know what? We really don't have much on the books. We've been playing it by year and just throwing like booking it not last minute, but like, okay, do you want to do this? All right, let's book
Our
this.
schedule is actually the most empty it's been in a while with cruising. We've been so busy and very really just too busy to pull the trigger on committing. Once you pull the trigger on these cruises, you're kind of locked in. We're so open to trying to do new things and new cruise lines and new cruise ships. We're being really strategic about how we book things, and that's why we have most of our schedule wide open right now.
Now, you guys are like me. Every time I talk to you, you have added to your bucket list. So I know pretty much what's on your bucket list from when I interviewed you for the Joy of Cruising again, and then when I interviewed you in May for the Joy of Cruising podcast. Have you added anything new to your bucket list, or have you checked off anything? I guess not since May, but have you added anything new?
Well, we did.
We checked off Greece. Greece was on our bucket list, so that definitely we checked that off.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Okay.
Next on my bucket list, I wouldn't say next, like I'm going to do it next, but something that I added to my bucket list is I would like to do a cruise to Antarctica.
There you go.
Those videos are starting to get to us.
Yeah.
We're very interested.
Yeah.
Well, I think Alaska is sort of a step to get you prepared, because
that's the appetizer.
You'll be dealing with that kind of not that kind of a climate, but you'll be dealing with cold.
Yeah.
I will say, when we went to Alaska, we overpacked. I mean, we bought thermal underwear. My daughter sent me hand warmers. My other daughter
you were really prepared.
Yeah, my other daughter sent me hunter boots, and we didn't need any of that. I mean, I wore my hunter boots every day, just about in Alaska. But there was one day it was in the 60s. So not me, but there were some people actually walking around with short sleeve shirts on that day. They just didn't know how to act with the weather being like that. But so it was not cold.
And that's the thing. We want a cold cruise.
Right. If I can't get to the beach, give me cold then.
So we're thinking Antarctica is going to have to be added to that list.
All right. Before we let you go, let me close with a few light questions. You've been on the show before, so I'm not going to ask you your favorite food and drink, although I get a lot of good ideas from you, but I'll get those ideas from your YouTube channel. First of all, I know that you have a huge following, a huge following. So let me take this time to welcome the A Rich and Jazzy Life and Melanin at Sea fans, and any family and friends listening. We hope that your followers who have joined us have enjoyed the Joy of Cruising podcast to this point, and will come back for future and past episodes. So since I asked you my cruising fun questions last time you were here,
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask you about my next favorite things.
Okay.
Music and sports. So tell our listeners and your fans what's playing these days on your Bluetooth speaker or headphones or however you consume music.
Oh, that's a good question. I I'm not really into listening to many of these new artists that's out. I'm kind of like stuck on 90s R&B music. So if I'm listening to music, I'm more than likely listening to some 90s, early 2000s R&B, those type of artists. Um, but Richard loves soca music, so he's always playing soca music around the house for the girls, also so that they can learn a lot about his culture, and they also know soca music. So we do listen to a lot of soca music in the house besides uh R&B. I mean 90s R&B and early 2000s hip hop and R&B. So that's basically what we listen
We
to
don't
around
really,
the house.
here we don't listen to the radio much because it's the modern songs that are out. We're just not really that much into
Into it,
it.
yeah.
Well, since you like '90s R&B, let me humble brag a little bit. I will be getting on a plane in 2 days
Mm-hmm.
to go to the Maxwell cruise.
Saw that. I saw you post that. Yeah, that's gonna
Yep,
be
yep.
good.
So
I can't wait to hear your review about it.
yeah. Well, I'm trying hard to. I know I'm not going to get Maxwell, but I've reached out to all of the performers and to the people who are organizing it, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm crossing my fingers that
Okay.
somebody responds. But in any
Yes.
Yeah,
event,
that would be nice.
in any event, we're going to give our reflections on the cruise.
Right.
Uh,
Yes.
okay. Next question.
You
What's the
enjoyed that.
last? Oh yeah, thank you. What's the last live concert you attended?
Last concert I went to was Beyonce Renaissance Tour. I went
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, I went on August 11th, 2023. That was absolutely phenomenal. Uh, I, hands down best concert I've ever been to. So yeah, that was the last concert I've been to. So, I'm very wise about what artists and how I spend my coins on concerts nowadays. So Beyonce, she could take all my coins. So I don't know who else I would go see. I just see that Usher released that he's going on tour this year. So I might be looking into going to that.
Have you seen Usher before?
Yes, I saw Usher twice. I actually took my mom for her birthday back in April. We went
Okay.
to his residency in Las Vegas. Phenomenal, hands down. That's why I kind of want to go to the tour because his residency in Las Vegas was everything.
Yeah, I was about to say if you have not seen him live, go. But
Yeah.
you already know. How about you, Rich? What's your last concert? Same one?
I'm not into concerts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not a concert person.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
kind of good because I could just stay home and watch the kids and I don't have to pay for tickets for the whole family, you know?
Yeah. I don't remember the last time you ever told me you went to a concert. I remember you took your sister to like a Chris Brown concert.
That's like the only concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
okay. Along the lines of music, who's your favorite artist of all time?
Of all
Ooh,
time?
of all time. Jeez, besides Michael
I was
Jackson,
gonna say probably got to be Michael Jackson.
There you
Yeah,
go. There you
it
go.
gotta be Michael Jackson.
Michael
That
Jackson's the ultimate
Ma-
medium in this house because even Rain and Royce love Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
Rain and Royce have loved Michael Jackson, especially Royce. Like, we'll play like a Michael Jackson YouTube video playlist, and she's like glued to the TV screen.
That's like one artist. We all like what we like, but that's one artist in this house we all like.
Yeah.
good. Okay, the next question is going to be about sports. Now, if you're not into sports, I can give you a substitute. What's your?
You're gonna have to give us a substitute because we don't watch any
That's
sports.
fine. That's fine. So then my substitute for the sports question is
Okay.
who's your favorite actor?
Oh, favorite actor is Denzel Washington.
There you go.
Uh,
I look
Yeah.
just like him, by the way.
ah,
Um,
Definitely got to be related.
yep.
yes.
And finally, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time is The Wiz. I grew up watching that movie over and over and over again. I'm a theater girl. Oh, that's how I became a theater girl, because of watching The Wiz. I absolutely love that movie, and I love it so much that I made Brandon Royce watch it a few times. And then the national tour came to Atlanta. I want to say it was, when did we go? Like November? Yeah, November. And
Hmm.
because it's going to be going to Broadway. So I took the girls to go see it.
That was really good.
So it was really good. So when it comes to Broadway, definitely go see it.
Well, now, isn't there a cruise ship that's doing the Wizard of Oz?
The Wizard of Oz is
Is
on
on the Icon.
Icon. That's something that we didn't talk
So
about.
we didn't mention that.
Oh,
and we,
okay, that's on
we
Icon.
probably need to. The show was really, really excellent. It was a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Excellent. Best musical I've ever seen on any cruise ship across any fleet of ships.
wow.
The Wizard of Oz was
Yeah.
so
Royal
good.
Caribbean really did their thing with that show.
Well,
Yeah, they did.
I'm
Really good.
I'm
It's a must see.
I'm so glad that you chose the Wiz, and that gave me a reason to ask about. And I forgot it was Icon. I knew that it was on a new ship, or it was something new.
Well, The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz. Yes.
So, well, that's great. That's great. So,
Yeah, definitely go see it though.
listeners, that's Icon of the Sea for Wizard of Oz, and then the Wiz movie is that's related but different. Okay.
Right.
What's your favorite movie, Rich?
How about you, Rich?
I don't really watch movies over and over where I have a favorite. I hate to watch a movie that I've
No.
already seen. And Jasmine's the complete opposite, where she will watch the same movie over and over and over. If I've seen a movie, I don't need to see it for another 20 years.
Dang,
All right.
Rich.
Well, Rich and Jasmine, thank you so much for coming back on the Joy of Cruising podcast. Continued all the best to a rich and jazzy life and Melanin at Sea. I know we will have you back at least once a year, but I suspect we will chat again in 2024.
Yes,
Okay, we're always down for
always
that.
here. We love being here on your podcast. And we just want to tell you congratulations to you,
Hmm.
all your success. We see you out here doing your thing, interviewing some amazing people in the cruising space. And we're very proud of you, Paul. You really are really taking this to new heights.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what this new year brings for you.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. Take care,
Yes.
and as they say, I will see you on the ocean.
See you on the ocean.
The Joy of Cruising and Cruising Interrupted, each $16.99 plus shipping, and new release, The Joy of Cruising Again for $18.99 can be ordered at the link on thejoyofcruisingpodcast.com. For each of the 3 books, use the discount code Joy of Cruising Podcast and get $4 off. The Joy of Cruising books are also available at Amazon. Order the ebook at Amazon or your favorite online retailer. Stay in touch by joining the Joy of Cruising Podcast Facebook group or following the Joy of Cruising Podcast on Instagram. We're constantly adding new shows. Please leave a review and tell a friend about us. We hope you enjoyed this brief escape to the ocean. See you next week.